This is A to Z with Mark Zinno, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, and it starts now.
Good afternoon. Welcome to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, where today I tell you it's all in the messaging. Welcome in. We are live here on this Thursday afternoon. Appreciate you making A to Z part of your everyday sports listen. Excited that you guys are joining us here on this venture on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Give us a follow on Twitter at Locked On ATL. Of course, I'm at Mark Zinno, MarkZinno. And we have got a lot to do today. Grant McCauley is going to join us to help us get through the Braves panic. It's still there. Because why? They did not yet, overtake the New York Mets for first place. So we'll do that. And a little tidbit on the Atlanta Hawks, which I found very, very, very interesting. But, it's one of those things where people start to tip their hand and they start to show you signs and signals of who they are and who they want to be, right? I mean, we all do this in our own lives. It's one of those things where, somebody wants to start losing weight. So you see them now all of a sudden bringing pre-made meals into work for lunch, or, you notice that they're bringing a bag with them to go to the gym, or they are coming in from the gym early and getting changed at work, whatever. You just start to see a change in the routine, and it signifies that there is a change going on. And they want you to notice. Whether they say it or not, people want you to notice because the behavior is overt, right? It's out there. Another way of doing it, of calling that, is just saying it's messaging, right? People will see my actions and they will understand what I'm trying to get at. People who are in bad relationships, we just, withdraw, seclude, you don't spend as much time with your partner and your loved one, and, you're pulling back. I'm seeing all the signs and the signals. And I often question for the Atlanta Falcons going into the draft, what was their identity going to be? What kind of team did they want to be? How much did they want to be a franchise that was defined by how they play? And while I'm not going to put too much stock into one little thing I see on social media, I am taking note. And yesterday, sometime around, 6 o'clock last night, whatever it might have been, the Atlanta Falcons on their Twitter account just tweeted out, quote, taking our offense to new heights, with the little, stock thing that points going up. And in the picture is Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Auden Tate. And underneath their names, it has their height. Kyle Pitts, 6'6", Auden Tate 6'5", Drake London 6'4", and all it says in the background is going big. Well, again, I don't want to say this as a broad sweeping indictment or generalization about what the Falcons want to be, but I would have a hard time believing that at least some of this isn't nested in what the coach and the GM want this team to be. I'm being told size is important. I'm being told that the bigger you are, the more it's going to translate to better production, more wins, new heights, as the tweet says. Now, again, I could be overlooking this. I could be making too much out of this. But for me, I view this objectively and have to believe that in some way, when you put stuff together like that it is nested in some sort of corporate messaging that has to do with the biggest part of the corporation, and that's the football team itself. And if the Falcons want to be big, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it because it is a departure from what the previous regime wanted, which was fast, right? They wanted speed. They wanted you to be small and quick, right? They wanted you to be David, not Goliath. They wanted you to be able to run through the legs of the giant and move quickly around the guys chasing you. That's what they wanted to be because that's all that they put on the roster. Now you're telling me I have a 6'6" tight end / wide receiver, a 6'5" wide receiver, and we just drafted a 6'4" guy who loves to go up and get jump balls. And we're going big. Let's see how the rest of this plays out. Because if you know anything about Arthur Smith and you start to connect all the dots here, Arthur Smith's offense was predicated on one thing. It's not the passing game, folks. It's the run game. Derrick Henry is big. That was an offense that was big and bullied you and pushed you around. That was Derrick Henry. That was the Titans offense. The passing game was just part of the whole deal, right? It just made it easier on Ryan Tannehill, made it easier on A.J. Brown and Corey Davis when he was there, right? Otherwise, it was, here you go, Derrick, take the ball, run, hit people, knock them on their ass. This is who we are. We're big. And I could see them starting to build that again. Now, I wish it would have said going big and listed the 5 offensive linemen in their height and weight, but they don't have big guys on the line yet all the way across. Difference of opinion, difference of philosophy, difference of process, but I get what they're trying to say. And I think it's a decent message. I don't think it's bad if that's what they want to be and that's who they are. Big people generally are stronger. They are more physical. They will smack you around. That's why bigger people have an advantage, because they're big. So if this is the messaging and this is the direction and this is the identity that this team wants to have, I'm okay with it. I don't think that it is anything that is that foregone. How much will it translate into new heights and better production and more wins? I don't know. I don't think much, but I at least appreciate the gesture. I at least appreciate the tipping of what you want the team identity to be, because I say it routinely. All the good teams in this league, all the perennial contenders in this league have an identity. And even if that identity is one player, like the Packers, just all about Aaron Rodgers, like the Chiefs, in reality, it's just all about Patrick Mahomes. That's okay. Ravens were all about defense. Steelers all about defense. You know, it's just who they are. Run the ball, play defense. That's them. AFC North football. So the identity is important. It's important to be an identity in the NFL and dictate to people how you win. All right, lots to do here on A to Z. Again, make sure you guys give me a follow on Twitter at Mark Zinno, MarkZinno. And Locked On ATL is where you can find all of our Locked On support shows here on Twitter at Locked On ATL. Coming up next, we will talk with Grant McCauley about the Atlanta Braves, and as well, a sort of scathing indictment on one player on the Atlanta Hawks. We'll tell you who that is. That's all coming up right here on A to Z on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you search Locked On Sports Atlanta.